Okay, friends, welcome, welcome. We're going to do a little bit of a different start today. We're going to do a start down on our bellies. So this is going to be kind of like a belly shavasana. So I want you to come lie down. And it's up to you if you like to do like your chin down to the ground with your arms out in front of you, that's awesome. Or if you kind of want to do one side of your head and then kind of keep alternating every now and then between the left side of your head and the right side of your head, just whatever feels comfortable to you. But one of the things I've always enjoyed about lying down on the ground, besides just that it feels nice and good, is that when we start doing that controlled breath, that you've got the full ability to feel the breath moving in your body because the weight of your body is against the floor. So let's start just with our three-part breath. This is Dirga Swasam Pranayama. So just release your air all the way down to empty. And then breathe into your low belly for 1, 2, 3, and hold. Breathe into your mid-abdomen for 1, 2, 3, and hold. Breathe all the way to the chest, all the way to the shoulders. Once you've got the full breath, hold your breath and relax. And then just do a slow exhale for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do that again. Breathe in low belly, low back. Breathe into your mid-abdomen and your mid-back. Breathe all the way to the chest, all the way to the shoulders. Once you've got your full breath, just hold and relax. And take that slow exhale, bring it all the way down to empty. And then start your Ujjayi pranayama from here. So that Ujjayi breath where you're just pulling the air in through your nose, engaging the muscles in the back of the throat, full deep breath. And then once you hit the top, you'll use the muscles in the back of your throat to slowly control the exhale back down to empty, kind of like you're fogging up a mirror but out your nose. Then you can hear the sound of your breath, ocean waves, hollow wind. And as we create that link between our mind and our breathing, we start to practice that awareness piece, that meditation piece, and we let that be with us the entire time. So take what works for me, leave the rest behind, and let your breath be your guide. Slowly pick your feet up in space, friends, and just start to draw circles with your feet in space. You might windshield wiper to the left and to the right as you draw these circles. You can get into your ankles, you can move through your toes. And then we'll do shoulder pigeon for your left arm. So shift your body over to the right side of your mat. And then with your chest down to the ground, reach your left arm to the left wall, palm face down. Push the right hand into the floor at your side, and then roll onto your left side body. You could plant your right leg onto your left, or like I'm doing, put your right foot to the ground behind your left leg so your knee is up in space. You could press into your right hand or your forearm. You could also draw your right arm up in space and then tuck the hand back behind you. That can feel awesome. And then another variation that I love here is you could create a quadricep stretch where as your right hand goes back, you can bend your right knee and then reach your right hand back for the top of the foot or for the ankle. I want you to focus on the breathing, relax the weight of your head. Listen to the sound of your breath. Just feel those areas in your body that need this stretch. Areas we can start to open up and relax. Awesome, friends. So from here, on your next exhale, you're just going to roll back down onto your stomach. You're going to keep your gaze going over to the left so the right side of your head is to the ground. And then army crawl your left knee forward in space so the inside of your left leg is down to the ground. Again, the right side of your head can relax to the ground so your gaze is to the left. And then my arms are just out in front of me. You can relax your arms at your sides or really place them wherever it feels comfortable to you. We just have that left hip hinged open and the inside of the left leg resting down to the ground. And then continuing to work with that slow, deep breath. You're just on the side of your stomach now, on the side of your rib cage. And the game is seeing how deep you can make your breath, how long you can make those exhales. Cool, and then we're going to switch our sides out on that shoulder pigeon. So you'll shift your body now over to the left side of your mat. Both legs are directly back behind us in space. And then reach and extend your right arm out to the right. Push your left hand into the floor at your side. And then take that roll now onto your right side body. Left leg can stack onto the right leg. Or just plant your left foot to the ground back behind your right leg. Left hand or forearm at your side. Or maybe you draw the arm up in space and lower the hand behind you. If you took the quadricep stretch on the other side, let's find that on this side. So just bend your left knee, bring your heel in towards your sit bone, slide your hand to the top of the foot or the ankle, and then just gently let the knee pull back in space. Nice breathing. Use your next exhale to roll back onto your stomach. Your body remains over on the left side of your mat, but now you're going to look over to the right. The left side of your head goes to the ground. Army crawl your right knee forward in space. And again, my arms are just out in front of me, and they're just kind of spread down to the ground. You can do whatever feels best to you here. If you're familiar with frog pose, I kind of think about this one as half frog pose, although it's just really a more of a restorative, relaxed pose, where you're letting the weight of your body just draw you into this gentle stretch, hinging that right hip open, inside of the right leg pressing down to the ground. And then from this half frog, we'll move into Sphinx. So you can slide your body more to the center of your mat. Come up onto your elbows, and then press into your elbows as you lift up through your chest. Tops of the feet are to the ground. Feel free to take any movement through your neck that you want. You could let the weight of the head fall forward while your shoulders gently lift up in space. Or you could turn your chin over to the left or over to the right. Awesome, friends. Lower yourself down, and when you're ready, let's lift up into a tabletop and do some warm-up for our wrists. So you can turn the insides of your wrists forward. Palms can press down to the ground. Thumbs can point to the sides of the room. You might just do side to side or back and forth motion. I love the leaning back in space, lifting the hands off the mat back to the fingertips, and then just gently rolling back forward. And part of what I need to really warm up before I start to do more of planks or more of down dogs is the circle of my palms. That's the part that sometimes can feel sore to me or it can hurt to me. So this one really helps with that. But just getting the wrists and the forearms warmed up in general is super smart. Back of your hands down to the ground when you're ready. Fingers could point towards one another or point to the back of the room. Just, you don't have to press super hard. So I'm kind of dropping more of the weight back towards my heels here and just giving a gentle press down into the back of the hands. And then eventually bringing yourself into hero's pose is fantastic. So just dropping your sit bones back to your heels and then taking a moment and just starting to roll out through your wrists, move into your fingers. And then once you've had the opportunity to just get a little movement through your wrists, we'll meet up in a plank pose. So bring yourself forward in space, plant the hands underneath your shoulders, and then find that position. Biceps tone slightly into center line, hips up on level with your shoulders. On your next exhale, just bring it halfway down and then press to the tops of both of your feet. Inhale, upward facing dog, baby back bend. And then we'll meet in a downward facing dog, tucking your toes and drawing the hips back and up in space. First down dog, so please take a moment to walk out through it. Bend through one of your knees at a time while the opposite heel reaches down to the ground. Spread into the circle of your palms. Spread out through your fingers. Hands right at about shoulders distance. Weight of your head released. And then the hips are reaching back up, lengthening the spine back and up. Biceps are toning in like you're holding a beach ball between them. The elbows, rather than locked, are micro bent. And then as we keep the shape of that spine, the hips lifting up, you're pulling the heels gently down behind you. Inhale the right leg back and up to a three-legged down dog. Let the front of your right hip bone continue to point down and back. And rather than sinking into your left hip, find that lift out of your left hip as you're lifting your right leg up and back. On an exhale, now draw your knee over to your left elbow or tricep, and we're holding in this three-legged plank for 4, 3, stay with the breath, 2, 1. Inhale, reach right leg back and up, three-legged down dog. And on your exhale, knee over to your right elbow or tricep, holding in for 5, 4, 3, 2. Maybe a push-up. Inhale brings us back up, three-legged dog. And then knee into your forehead. Forehead in towards your knee, back heel lifts high. 3, 2, 1. We're inhaling back up, three-legged down dog. This is the last one. And on the exhale, just step the foot up between your hands to a low lunge position. Keep your left hand, fist, or fingertips rooted down underneath your left shoulder. And on an inhale, just twist and reach the right arm up nice and tall in space. Open through your back, open through your chest. Breathe into that twist. If you want to challenge yourself, then you would just hover the left hand right up off the ground, so your left middle finger is almost touching. Take one more inhale here, and on your exhale, we're back down into a low lunge position, right hand to the ground. Inhale will then bring us up into a high crescent lunge. So legs are spread out enough that we can start to bring that right knee to bend more at 90. Your back left heel is pulling off the mat. And I like to think about the left heel coming forward, so your left thigh is pulling forward, right thigh is toning back to meet it. And then pressing down into that right leg, pulling back up through your right glute, hugging into that right glute. And then reaching up tall through the arms, but letting your shoulder heads relax down. Breathe in here, and on your next exhale, just a flying lunge, so reaching your arms back, chest slightly lifts, gaze is slightly forward at the top of the eyes. Inhale back up into your high crescent lunge, and then on your exhale, just return to that flying lunge. And then we're going to do that one more time, friends. So inhale to reach up, high crescent. Maybe take your gaze up, play with your balance, and then exhale into your flying lunge. Hold flying lunge, stay with your breath, and then time a step up into chair where your left foot meets your right. Sit bones can drop back nice and deep. Your arms could be at goalposts or reaching straight up. We're supporting the knee joints as we put the weight into them. And then start to lift up onto the balls of your feet so the heels pull off the ground. And we'll do a vertical twist to the right, letting the right arm reach back behind us as the left arm extends forward. Your left knee will want to come forward. Keep your knees lined up so your hips are lined up behind you. You don't need to lean forward beyond the balls of the feet. Your chest can stack right over the balls of the feet. Drop left heel, inhale arms and right knee up into a one-legged mountain. Right knee bent at 90, thigh bone plugging back in, full reach up through your arms. Perfect, friends. And then as we go into this twist and you take your right arm behind you, your left arm forward, you could keep the left knee bent and take your hand to the outside of your thigh. If you wanted to extend the the right leg rather forward in space, your left hand could grab onto the outside of your right foot. And if you're doing that, just keep the length in your spine first, and then the length in your legs second. So either one of those, left hand outside of right thigh or outside of the foot, or you could keep your arms open. And then on an inhale, come back up to your one-legged mountain. And on the exhale, just right foot to the floor and circle your hands into your heart centers at standing. Inhale to reach and extend your arms up nice and tall. Breathe in. And when your exhale comes, hinge out from your hips and swan dive down into a forward fold. Inhale halfway up. Tone your shoulder blades in like there's a pencil you're holding between them. And then exhale to refold. So either do the peace sign fingers to your big toes or walk the hands underneath your feet for a gorilla pose where the backs of the hands are to the ground. And then the toes are touching the back of your wrists. Let the weight of your head totally relax. You can do a baby half lift if you want. You don't come up very far. But then when you exhale, you're using the pull and the push of the hands connected to the toes or the feet to draw yourself in here. And if you've got the toes, you might see your elbows open up a little bit wider as you gently pull back against the toes, but then you're pressing the big toe down towards the ground. And it's the same thing with your wrists and your hands. So you're kind of lifting your hips back and up, but at the same time you're pressing your feet downwards. Don't transfer that tension into your neck. Let the neck remain nice and relaxed. And just grab the last couple rounds of breath here. Once you get to the end of your breath, let's just release it. We can inhale halfway up, bring that length into your spine, tone your shoulder blades in, and then plant the hands, step or float back to your plank. And this is your choice of how you want to go to down dog. I'm going to exhale halfway to Chaturanga Dandasana, and then press the tops of my feet, inhale upward facing dog, tuck toes, exhale to down dog. But you can always skip that and go directly to down dog, or maybe replace your up dog with a low cobra. Nice. Focus back into your downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg back and up, three-legged down dog. Front of your left hip is pointing down and back. Again, rather than sinking down into your right hip, find that lift up and out of it the way it can support the lift of your left leg. And on an exhale, just bring your knee over to that right elbow or tricep, crossing, holding. 4, stay with the breath. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, cross the knee to your left elbow or tricep. In here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, knee to your forehead. Nice. Hold in and breathe. One more inhale to your three-legged down dog. And on your exhale, we're up to our low lunge position, foot up between our hands. Nice. So you've got your right hand down to the ground, or if you're using a prop, to your prop, palm, fist, fingers, whatever you'd like. And then we're reaching and extending that left arm up tall in space, twisting. Your left hand can go back way further than your shoulder. So it's not about your hand pulling back. It's about your left shoulder pulling back to stack over your right, and the left arm reaching straight up. And again, if you want to challenge this one, more intensity, just hover the right middle finger right up off the ground, but keep that shape. On an exhale, come back down to the low lunge position. And then we'll inhale to rise up into a high lunge, high crescent. Nice. So enough length in your stance that you can get that front knee over your heel, but bent more at 90. And then feel the tone of the thighs in, lift up through your chest. Find that left glute to hug into as you're pressing down into the left foot. On an exhale, hinge forward, fly your arms back. And then on the inhale, come back up, high crescent. Exhale to your flying lunge. Inhale, come up, high crescent. You can play with your balance and take your gaze up. And then last flying lunge on the exhale. Nice, friends. When you're ready for it, take the weight to your left foot. Step your right foot up to meet your left into Utkatasana chair pose. Again, arms can reach straight up, or you can more of a cactus position with your arms. Sit bones are reaching back. You get to lift up through your chest. The tone from your legs all the way to your glutes, into your core. And then lift the heels up off the ground. And start to reach that left arm behind you, right arm forward. And again, the game is to keep your knees square towards the front of the room so your hips are lined up behind you as you're in your twist. And then the right heel can drop when you're ready. Inhale, arms, and left knee up into your one-legged mountain. Focus your gaze in front of you on something that's not moving. And then we'll go into the twist on the exhale. Same twist you just did in chair. So left hand behind you, right arm forward. Again, you could bend that right elbow. The hand can grab the outside of the thigh. If you want to grab the outside of your left foot, you can reach your left leg forward. Length in your spine first, length in the left leg second. So there can always be a bend if you're taking that option in your left knee. Nice, and then just inhale back up to your one-legged mountain. And on the exhale, just bring the foot to the ground. Take your hands into your heart center. From standing, inhale to reach and extend your arms up nice and tall. Breathe in. This time, exhale the cactus open to a baby back bend. Lift up through your chest. Cactus to arms open, baby back bend. Inhale to reach back up. And then we'll do that swan dive on your exhale, hinging out from the hips. Nice. Inhale halfway up, lengthen through your spine, tone the shoulders in, so strengthen the back. Exhale to refold. And then we can take the feet out a little bit wider. And you can ragdoll, opposite hand to opposite elbow or bicep, and sway. You could interlace the hands behind the base of the skull and sway. If you wanted to, you could interlace your fingers at your knuckles. That's a third option. Knuckles reach up. Elbows could bend slightly forward. Nice with that breath. Exhale, release it down. Walk your feet back in where you want them. Inhale brings a halfway up, lengthen through the spine, and then plant the hands, move back into your plank position, and make your way to down dog. This is time for your vinyasa, for your flow. So you could take that chaturanga, half push-up, up dog, urdhva mukha svanasana, or low cobra, and then we're back into down dog. So now we're going to go breath to movement through that sequence. So inhale, reach the right leg up, three-legged down dog. And on the exhale, bring the knee to your left elbow or tricep. Inhale, back up in space. Exhale, knee to your right elbow or tricep. You can throw a push-up in here if you want, and we'll grab that on the other side. When it comes to it, inhale, right leg back up. Exhale, knee to your forehead. Inhale, one more three-legged down dog, and then low lunge on that exhale. Left hand under your shoulder. Inhale, your right arm twists up, and then exhale back into your low lunge position. Inhale, high crescent lunge. And on the exhale, bow into your flying lunge. We're just going to do one of those. So the next inhale is chair, left foot meets the right. And on the exhale, vertical twisting chair, right arm behind you, left arm forward, heels off the ground. Drop your left heel. Inhale your arms and your right knee up, one-legged mountain. And then vertical twist on the exhale, right hand behind you, left arm forward. Inhale to that one-legged mountain. And on the exhale, bring the foot to the floor, hands in. We'll inhale to reach up into mountain. And then baby back bend on the exhale, cactusing your arms open. Inhale, reach back up tall. And then swan dive, forward fold on the exhale. Inhale, halfway up, strengthen the spine. Plant the hands, step or float back, high plank. Make your way to down dog, whatever you're working with on your vinyasa, on your flow. Nice, and then we'll do the left side. So inhale your left leg up, three-legged down dog. As you exhale, the knee to your right elbow or a tricep. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, knee, left elbow, tricep. You can throw that push up in. Inhale, back up, three-legged down dog. Exhale, knee to your forehead. Inhale, take it back up. And then low lunge on the exhale. So keep your right hand down. Inhale, your left arm twists up. And then exhale, bring it back into your low lunge. Inhale, high crescent lunge on the rise. And on your exhale, bow to your flying lunge. Just one of those transitions. The next inhale is chair. So right foot meets your left. And on the exhale, vertical twist to the left, heels off the ground, left hand behind you, right arm forward. Nice. Drop your right heel. Inhale, arms and left knee up, one-legged mountain. And that same vertical twist to the left on the exhale. Inhale brings you back up, one-legged mountain. And on the exhale, bring the foot down to the ground, circle your hands in. So inhale to reach up into mountain. Take that baby back bend with cactus arms on the exhale. Inhale to reach back up in space. And then swan dive, forward fold on your exhale. Inhale halfway up. Plant your hands, step or float back into your plank, and then your choice of how you're going to flow. Meeting back in down dog. And then find a child's pose. So just bring your knees out wide. Tops of the feet to the ground, big toes together. Relax the weight of your forehead. Walk your arms out in front of you down to the ground. Find that breath. Last round of breath or two in this child's pose. Nice, friends. And then just bring yourself up to your tabletop. Drop one of your hips down to the ground. Bring your legs forward. And then we're going to go right into a few core moves, some work for our core muscles. So grab your hamstrings, and then as you rock down onto your back, you're going to let your mid-back tap down, but because you're holding your hamstrings, your upper back is off the ground, shoulders are off the ground, head's off the ground, gaze is forward. Perfect, friends. So from here, reach your arms straight up, breathe in, and as you exhale, bring the head and shoulders and arms down. So breathe in here, and then exhale to reach up, so toe touches. Awesome. So inhale, you drop it down, then exhale, you come back up. There we go. The speed is totally up to you, as slow or as fast as it is authentic. The next time that you lift up, I want you to hold the lift. If your neck needs support, throw one hand behind the base of your skull. Feel that flexion in your core muscles. And then back into those toe touches. We just got a few more. Nice, friends. Find reclined cobbler's pose. Bottoms of the feet together, knees out wide, reclined bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana. Legs make a diamond shape. Weight of the knees relaxes open. Head and arms are relaxed down to the ground. Deep breathing. So interlace the hands behind the base of the head and lift the head off the ground, and then reverse tabletop the knees. So the knees are bent at 90, bottoms of the feet are forward. Awesome. And then reach your legs out to the diagonal. Okay, and then on your inhale, bring your knees in, and as you exhale, extend the legs back out to the diagonal, so in and out. We want to keep the low back rooted into the ground, especially when the legs are out on that diagonal, versus there being an arch in your low back. Okay, next time the legs extend, hold them out there. You can always add a bend into your knees to lessen the intensity, or lift the legs up a little bit higher, but you want to find a sustainable level of intensity to work with. And that breath. Back into the in and outs, just a few more. Okay, the next time your knees come in, grab onto your hamstrings and just rock up to your sit bones. We did Supta Baddha Konasana. Now we're just going to do regular Baddha Konasana. So take the bottoms of the feet together, scoot yourself to the front edge of your sit bones, and then an inhale from the front edge of your sit bones just lifts the spine up nice and tall. And when the exhale comes, you can hinge out from your hips and just take that swan dive, reaching your sternum down towards your big toes. I've got my hands around my feet like they were the pages of a book, so thumbs on the inside, fingers on the outside, and then letting the elbows just rest and slightly press to the insides of the legs, closer up towards the knees. I love this pose because part of it is a forward fold, and then part of it is like a spinal extension at the same time, kind of that little bit of a reach forward and a little bit of a fold down. And of course, all that hip opener that we get with this one. Beautiful. Okay, slowly start to wind back up, and then slide your hips up just a little bit so you can plant your feet down to the ground. And your feet should be pretty close up to the top of your mat. and then grab onto your hamstrings and lift the feet up off the ground. So this is a supported boat pose or Navasana. And we're going to use it to pull against the hamstrings and really bring up that length in our spine and then a little bit of the shoulder strength behind us. Cross your ankles, and then we've done some twisting already in class, so we're going to do twists in our boat, and then we'll hold boat and then go back into our twists. Let's hold our Navasana, our boat pose. So you can do just like you were doing with the hands behind the legs. You could lengthen the legs out. You could also open your arms up. Relax your face. Stay with your breathing. And then cross the ankles and just go back into your twists. From these, we're going to bring it forward into our tabletop and just do some cat and cow. And I'll leave any specific direction out of it, so I want you just to kind of take it at your own pace. Your cows are where you're dropping belly, lifting chest, tailbones up, and your cats are where you're dropping head, mid-back lifts high, tailbone drops. But you can breathe into one, exhale to the other, or spend a little bit of time in one before you go to the next. You can shift forwards and backwards a little bit or a lot, or take side-to-side movement through your hips or through your shoulders. Nice, friends. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Inhale draws the right leg up to three-legged down dog, but then open the hip and bend the knee to a scorpion tail. Watch that we're not sinking into the left shoulder or that your left heel is swiveling off to the left. The arms to the ground, the left leg to the ground are nice and strong and solid as you lift that leg back and up in space. Now on your next exhale, step the foot up in between the hands. Find low lunge. Drop the knife edge of your left foot to the ground, and then warrior two when you're ready on the rise. So just swinging that left arm behind you and your right arm forward. And then heels are in one line from the back of the mat to the front. Right sit bones underneath your body. Gaze is right out across those fingertips. Opening through your chest, relaxing the shoulder heads. And then for triangle, just lengthen out your right leg. Reach as far as forward as you can through your fingertips. And then you can bring your right hand to your shin or fingertips to the ground. Or if you got a block, you could put a block down to the ground. Full wingspan is opening up here through your arms. And then the crown of the head is reaching forward. So I like to think about the spine as a crossbar in this posture. Rather than locking the right knee, there's a micro bend in it. So we're really engaging the muscles around the leg. Inhale, come back up into your warrior two, and then reverse your warrior when you're ready. So left hand tucked behind you or down your leg or to your hip. And then right arm is up nice and tall with that little bend through your elbow. Gaze can come up. Nice, friends. On an exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot, turn onto the ball of the left, and then standing splits where your left leg lifts up and your fingertips are rooted down to the ground. You're in a one-legged forward fold, standing forward fold, just lifting up through the left leg. Relax the weight of your head. You can take your chin like side to side a little bit so your gaze is behind you. Press down into your fingertips or your fists or your palms, whatever's connected to the ground. Press down into that right heel and that right foot, and then lift back up to that left leg. And then we're going to start to walk the hands up the right leg. So place your left hand onto your right thigh, and then place your right hand onto your right thigh. And then we're in a staged version of Warrior 3 as long as we're pointing the left toes to the ground. And then we're bringing the spine up to a half lift and the back left heel is on level with our hips. You can stay here or keep the left hand to your right thigh and reach the right arm forward. If you want, you can send both arms forward or keep that left hand to your right thigh. Take one more breath in, and then you can go back to a low lunge on the exhale. And then for pigeon, you can cross your right foot over the left side of your mat, drop your right knee over to the right, top of the foot or the side of the foot to the ground. Left leg, you can even take your gaze across your shoulder, is right behind you, top of the foot's to the ground. And then we can start with a lift up, and then when you're ready, just bring it down onto your forearms, or maybe you stay up in that upward facing pigeon for a little bit longer. Watch that your hips aren't sinking to the left or to the right. They're on the same level with one another in space. Find that breath. And then we're back up to that three-legged down dog to get your right leg up and just give some stretching into it. Find a full down dog. And then from that full downward facing dog, reach and extend your left leg, backing up three-legged down dog. Open the hip and bend the knee on the exhale. Again, stay strong with your right shoulder. Make sure your right heel is not swiveling out to the side. Breathe into the lift, and on your exhale, work your foot up in between your hands to your low lunge. Drop the knife edge of the right foot down to the ground. Your heels are in one line from the front of the mat to the back, and you got your Warrior 2. So your right arm is back, left arm is forward. There's that pull back into center as you're pressing down into the legs. Spine's up nice and tall. And then opening through the chest, relaxing down through the shoulders as you reach out through your arms. Nice. And then for triangle, we'll just straighten out that left leg, reach forward, and then tilt down, hand to your shin, or fingertips down to the ground, or if you got your block. Full wingspan. Watch that you're not dropping your chest or head forward. Pretend there's a wall directly behind you that you're pressing your shoulders and the base of your skull back into. And that micro bend in your left knee. Nice. Let's inhale back up to warrior two, and then reverse the warrior on the exhale, tucking the right hand, or bringing the right hand to your hip or to your thigh, and tall up through that left arm. If you came out of your lunge, just come back into it just a little bit. Your next exhale takes you back to your low lunge position, and then you're on the ball of the right foot, and we come into standing splits with the left leg as your base, pressing into your fingertips, your fists, or your palms, and connecting down into your hands like you're going to push your way up through your fingertips, through your fists, or through your palms. Weight of the head totally relaxed, lifting up through that right leg, staying with your breathing. Okay, and then bring the right hand to your left thigh. Left hand to on top of your right. Point your right toes down. Lift your right heel up on level with your hip. Spine's at a half lift. You can stay here in this stage version of warrior three, or keep right hand to your left thighs, left arm goes forward, or both arms are forward. Find that breath. One more breath into it. And then make your way to your low lunge. For our pigeon, left foot walks over to the right side. Left knee drops to the left. Again, edge of your foot or top of the left foot to the ground. Right leg is directly behind us. Top of the foot to the ground. And then you might take a little lift up. Stay as long as you like. And then eventually bring it down onto your forearms. Head to your block if you've got one, or stacked hands, or all the way down to the ground. So the front of your right thigh and hip are pointing down. So that keeps you from rolling onto the left hip or out onto the right hip. And that left knee is to the outside of your body. So that 7 shape with your legs. Find your breath. And then we press the hands to the ground, lift up through the chest, tuck through the right toes, and take that left leg back and up, and just bring that movement into it, however you like, in your 3-legged down dog. Final down dog. And then lower down. We're going to meet up on our backs. And whenever you get down to your back, I want you to draw your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your knees, and just give your body a little rock. And this little side-to-side rock is just where you're working and massaging out the low back and the hips. And then just our last few moves here, we're going to go into bridge. So you can grab your heels with your hands or have your fingertips touch your heels. Keep them right at about hip bone distance. And then press your elbows down to the ground, bend them at 90 so your hands are reaching up. And then bring your shoulder blades in closer to one another. Press into your feet, press into your elbows. Draw the hips up nice and tall. Weight of the head's relaxed. With the shoulder blades in, it's making this, or in towards one another, it's making this shelf for your heart. Strong through the body as you breathe. Feel all corners of your feet rooted to the ground. And then nice and slow, friends, vertebrae by vertebrae, release down, and we can move this into happy baby. So when your hips touch down, peace sign fingers, grab your big toes, or the hands grab the edges of your feet. Knees are out wide. Ankles are stacked above your knees, so the soles of your feet are shining to the sky. And then just give a little side to side rock as you pull down on the frame, bringing your low back close to the ground. And then left leg flat out in front of you. Just hug your right knee up into your chest, up into your shoulder. And then left hand will pull the right knee down over to the left. So you roll onto the outside edge of your left hip. Right arm reaches to the right. And your gaze goes out across your right fingertips. You can add that extension into your right leg if you want with your left hand anywhere on the outside of it. Or just keep that right knee bent. Nice, friends. Roll onto your back. Bring your knees in. Wrap your arms. Give yourself that rock. And then we'll switch that up. So right leg flat out in front of you. Just pull that left knee up towards your left shoulder. And then take the twist when you're ready. Right hand pulls down over to the right. You're on the outside edge of your right hip. Reach your left arm to the left and just take your gaze out over your left fingertips. Feel that left shoulder just coming down towards the ground. And we're on our last few rounds of that controlled breath. And then one last time, just bring your knees in. Wrap your arms around them. Give yourself that rock out. And for our Shavasana, our funnel resting pose, you can just lengthen the legs out in front of you. Let the weight of the feet relax open. Bring your arms at your sides. Take the palms open to the sky. Release the weight of your head. You can cover your eyes or your body with something, whatever feels most comfortable. And then let go of controlling your breath and just allow your body to take back over on the breathing. So nice and slow, just bring some life back into your body. You can move your fingers or wiggle your toes. Maybe stretch and reach your arms all the way overhead back behind you to a full morning stretch. Roll the weight of your body onto your side. Take a fetal position. Curl up. And then from your fetal position, just rise to a cross-legged position. When you hit your cross-legged position, or whatever pose feels most comfortable to you to end the session with, find the front edge of your sit bones if you're on them. Lengthen up through your spine, maybe roll your shoulder heads down away from the ears and the back. And then just gather your hands into your heart center with your thumbs back towards your sternum. And then just letting the head bow forward. And respect inwards towards yourself. And just that respect and love outwards towards everyone. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether it is clear to you or not, No doubt the universe is unfolding exactly as it should. The light in me greets the light in you. Namaste. Awesome.